Okay, Sparky.
Beautiful. So today I'm going to revisit kind of a topic we touch on quite a bit, but with a little more clarity. It's air barriers versus drainage planes.
Ooh,
So,
he's going in the weeds.
I'm lost
right.
already. I
Well,
literally, are you talking about like crawl spaces? Are you talking about roofs? I have no idea
nope.
what that sentence
So
means.
Here we
it's
go.
it's the time of year where people start thinking about maybe residing their house, putting in some windows and so on. So when they rip it off, most of the siding guys will try to sell you 3/8 inch insulation called fan fold, and it really just helps smooth out the wall, and they just go on top of that with the siding and they call it done.
Right.
Particularly vinyl in that. So this is one of those opportunities to fix something in your home that isn't getting fixed. So let's start with simple definitions. An air barrier is a system of materials designed and constructed to control the airflow between the conditioned space and the unconditioned space of your house. So the unconditioned being the outside, the conditioned space being the inside. An air barrier is simply that. It stops the air movement. Okay? So great examples of that, like Tyvek, Typar, all those products are air barriers.
Tar paper.
Tar paper's a great one. It's funny because we've been using 30-pound felt on sidewalls for
Yep.
100 years, and
Yep.
you take off old siding, and most of it's still in good shape.
Yep.
Now, a drainage plane, on the other hand, is a water repellent material that's it keeps moisture or water from going from outside into your house. Now we're really going in the weeds.
Uh-huh.
Here's the difference, though. We have liquid water and
Uh-huh.
we have water vapor.
Sure.
So water vapor is down to the size of the molecule of water, H2O,
Right.
2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen, 1 water molecule. Well, it will go through Typar, Tyvek, and all those products. It's vapor permeable. That's a good thing. But when you have wet water, liquid water, water in drops, rain, and buildup, that is much too large to go through Tyvek and Typar. So what happens is if you put new siding up without a drainage plane, a space for that water to drain down, you will trap it, and that water then will sit there, and the molecules will leak in because your house is typically drier than outside, so it's going to draw that in. Just simple thermodynamics. And I know this sounds all crazy and in the weeds and stuff, but that's what makes building science fascinating because you can't just do something thinking it's the best. So if you put fan fold on your wall,
Mm-hmm.
and then you put up new siding, wherever that siding is nailed, it will trap water horizontally because that fin is nailed. So vinyl's less likely to do that in some respects because you never nail vinyl siding tight to the wall.
Well, you're
Or
not
clarify
supposed
that. Right, clarify that before everybody calls in.
Right.
But when we talk about building a drain, so what I would do if I was having my house resided, I would put the fan fold up, okay, and
Right.
remove any of the old siding that I could. I wouldn't go over old aluminum or whatever. I'd remove all the siding, get to the sheathing. I would then put up, if you want the fan fold, fine, but then I would put on a new layer of Tyvek or Typar. But then what you really want to do is you put strips, furring strips technically, over every place there's a stud. And that what they'll do, regardless of the type of siding, it will hold it off the wall.
Right.
Now, if any liquid water gets behind there, even water vapor, it can either drip down and run out the bottom. If you leave the gap at the top like you should, just a small gap, that will allow water vapor to dry out and rise and escape. So you're not trapping water. You basically have a place that it can breathe. So now it's really gotten good, and this is why I revisited this, is that there's some products out there. Now, one is called Quarix, and they're plastic furring strips.
Uh-huh.
But CoreVent, the one that you'd use for a ridge vent, which
Right.
I'm not a fan of CoreVent unless you've got it installed absolutely perfect and you have enough ridge to vent properly. If you do, CoreVent's a great product. But CoreVent came out what they call sturdy strips, and they sell it in kind of a kit. You have a bottom piece that will fill that gap so that bugs and things don't crawl up in there.
Mm-hmm.
You put your furring strips on there, and these are all corrugated. They look almost like cardboard.
Right.
So it will give you not only a drainage plane, but it'll give you a place for that water to leak out. So the CoreVent one is really nice, and I'm kind of excited to see that. So if you're putting up new siding, hardy siding especially, hardy siding or cementitious siding, it's a great product, but it's really good at trapping water because it's nailed tight at the top. But use those sturdy strips, something like that, build that drainage plane, and you'll have no problem.
Mighty
Boom,
House
done.
will return.